Right, so let's get back to our conversation here in studio, just talking about the political environment right now in the country. And I want us to start from the IEBC. Let's talk about one of the issues that they are currently dealing with. IEBC is always dealing with something, Nelson. And yesterday they came out to reaffirm that position that they will not be having periodic announcements of the results. And NASA, on the other hand, is saying that this is really a poisoned chalice of, trying to rig the election. What is your assessment of this push and pull again?
Well, I've maintained the consistent stand that IBC, of all the players in this exercise, is least prepared or has been designed to fail. Otherwise, how will the Chief Executive Officer of IBC come to the press and make such a statement? Ideally, the process of streaming and tallying of the presidential results is supposed to be seamless and continuous as and when the results come in. And what informs this is what was set out in Kriegler's report, that there has to be transparency in the manner in which you receive the results, the manner in which you tally them, and the manner in which you communicate them, so that it's supposed to go sequentially. I do not know what informs the decision by IBC to take that drastic action, but I think it's of no consequence. We're living in an era of advanced technology. I believe whoever wants to conduct his own parallel tally will be able to receive these results as and when they come and should be able to communicate them publicly. So
don't you think it's going to increase some tensions? It's better, don't you think it's better if IEBC comes out and says, so-and-so has garnered these votes in this particular place, instead of having, Jubilee on one hand and NASA coming out to declare results, which is the most organized way to go about it?
I think IEBC has perfected this art of testing the patience of the opposition. I think in all logical conclusion, we expect that the media houses will be streaming these results for us, because that's what's provided for under the law. What IBC is trying to do is quite unnecessary. But I think it's a battleground that they're now preparing with NASA as regards the adopter poll situation. This is intended to divert attention from that fact. And I do not think IBC has the power to make these reckless statements. For instance, the Constitution provides that the election must be conducted in a transparent manner. And going back to Kriegler said the only limitation to the number of agents that should be allowed into a polling station or a tallying center should be the ability of the facility to accommodate the people. So that if we are holding the election in a classroom that can accommodate 40 students, on what basis will you say that it cannot accommodate 5 agents that constitute the respective parties of a coalition?
All right.
Yes.
All right, interesting. Tommy, let me get your comment on this one. First of all, before we get to the adopter polling station, yes. Does IEBC not, having these periodic announcements really have an effect on the elections and the relaying of the results?
I don't think it has an effect on the outcome, but the perceptions before the outcome might be affected by these delays.
All right.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Because like last time, during the last election, actually
yes.
the one in 2013,
yes.
there was a period where you would sit and then the numbers changed drastically, a big change from what you expected. And people already had set certain expectations. So when they got this new information that changed things, there was a perception that something bad happened in between. Yes.
George, what do you think could have been the reason why IBC decided to go it this way?
First, I would want to say that it is futile for IEBC to try out things that cannot work. In this information age, it's unlike those days when we used to have KBC as the only broadcaster, and there was no communication. Actually, you had to make telephones through the booth or some offices.
Yes.
Things are different now. You see, IEBC cannot stop information from moving from one center to the other. I mean, we have various platforms of information which will still work whether IEBC is announcing or not announcing. People will still announce these things on WhatsApp, on Twitter, on Facebook. They'll all be there. So it's futile for them to say that we will stop this information or we'll be doing it intermittently, because it won't matter. Like if we have our agents and they are giving us the information, if IEBC does not announce, we know the information. So if they announce something that is unbecoming, that shows some mischief in it, then that is when they bring in problems,
All right.
which we do not want as a country.
Okay, I'll